This is Spencer, the Tampa Bay Wallpaper Installer, coming to you from a ladder in sunny Florida in the Tampa Bay area. And I wanted to show you something about stubborn wallpaper. Now you're looking at very good quality wallpaper. One of the practical problems with very high quality wall covering is the thickness of the wall covering. Now, such a thick paper is beautiful, and the millage is a lot thicker than your typical residential wall covering. What does this do, practically speaking? It makes it more difficult to hang. And why is that? Because the thicker the wallpaper, unless it's all vinyl, like commercial vinyl, which stretches, it doesn't stretch. Even after the backing on it absorbs the moisture in the glue, it expands a little bit, but it's very hard to set the seams in place. And even though my seams are in place right now, and they will be, what's going to happen is that since the paper doesn't shrink, it doesn't expand, it doesn't stretch very much and doesn't stretch very well, it won't tear because it's such good quality paper. The only other thing it can do is to shrink. And then what you get in this type of paper is the fracturing at the seams after the water evaporates from the glue. And one of the ways to combat that is to pay very particular attention to your seams when you're mending your seams. And you want to make sure that not only are the seams joined, but that they're actually on top of each other. So much so that they're practically overlapping, but not quite. And what you do is you take the paper right at the edge and you put your hand, but it'll have a little bit of moisture on it. If you put a drop of water on your hand and then spread it around your flesh on your hand, you'll give your hand some traction if your wall covering is clean, so that when you hit the paper, you're just moving the seam a hair closer, which is all you need, because a hair closer is better than a hair away. And this particular paper has a gloss on it. Actually, it has an eggshell sheen to it, and therefore it makes it slippery. And so that adds another practical problem onto the joining of the seams, because your hand slips on it and it's very difficult to mend the seams together, adding up to a more fractured seam in the end result. So this is a tip for you to be very careful when you're joining your seams. What I would suggest that you do is that you put more glue underneath the wallpaper than you need. And what this does is that it allows for you, just hold it like this, it allows for you to slide your wall covering. In other words, so that you're not competing against a very stubborn wall covering, and that you can slide it. You can always screed the glue out from underneath your wall covering, but you can't add to the glue underneath the wall covering once you have it in place, unless you take it down again. So my advice when you have a stubborn wall covering is that you put more glue than necessary, because you can always remove glue, but it's not always easy to add glue unless you want to take the sheet down and then reapply the glue. In that case, depending on the amount of time that you had your paper up, you might wind up pulling down part of the paint underneath it. So you got to be very careful. It's not an easy task, but if you get to know your wall covering, the thicker the wall covering, the more glue I'm telling you to use until you get the hang of hanging your wallpaper. You'll see, once you start working with the different wall coverings and you start dealing with a thicker millage wall covering, you will know to add more glue to it so that it slides, so that you won't have this issue. Once you get it in place, leave it sit there for a while. Let the moisture on the glue evaporate, and then all you got to do is screed out the excess, the gooey glue. And then your seams are more likely to line up in that instance than they are if you hadn't added the extra glue. Okay, so that's my advice, to make these thicker wall coverings slide by adding more glue than to add a little glue and have it very hard to move your seams together. Okay, this is Spencer, the Tampa Bay Wallpaper Installer, coming to you from the Tampa Bay area in sunny Florida. If you like the video, please click on like And please subscribe to my channel. Share it with a friend. If you have a comment about how you installed your wallpaper, share it with us. We'd like to know. Okay, thank you. See you on the next one.